Well, hi everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite team call. It is October 30. I just can't even imagine that it's almost November. We started these calls in January, you guys, and look, it's a thing. It's caught on. And I just enjoy this time together so much. We don't go to school for network marketing, so this is our school. This is how we learn, is just, pouring into each other, sharing each other's strengths, and pooling our resources together so that we can all learn and grow together. And that's the beauty of our bond. This is the culture, is that there's no competition. We just we don't compete with each other, we complete each other. So I'm just so honored to grow in this business together with you. So I'm Tammy Ray, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne, and just more excited every day to be a part of this amazing company. If you think about it, when Carol Bodell, my MVP at least, was promoted to National Vice President, she was the 16th person in the company to promote to the top. And she was the only person in that entire year to promote to MVP. When I first came around Arbonne and started going to GTC and going to meetings and everything, there was about maybe, one MVP that would promote every couple months. So maybe 5 in a whole year would promote to MVP. And here we are 10 years later. And I mean, MVPs are popping left, right, and center. It's crazy. This company is in so much momentum and growth, and just, it's catching on, and yet it's still in its infancy. We had 55 people promote to MVP last year in 2015. I just want to set the stage of what an exciting time this is to be part of Arbonne. And this is fourth quarter. This is when people are, thinking about holiday gifts and thinking about New Year's resolutions, thinking about income. I mean, everything's kind of coming together here. We have some people are just getting home from AIT. We have another trip about to launch December 1st. So this is the time to get our ducks in a row, to get things going, to get our momentum going so that we can, be in massive activity by December and earn this trip and create, close out this year really strong. So I just wanted to, set the stage for where we're at in this company. And so tonight's call is really about, something that's been on my heart for a while. And I feel like all of these calls that we've done are things that I wish I had known when I first started. So this is something I wish I had known so long ago, but I'm so grateful to have the light bulb now. So often we think there must be some huge quantum leap that has to happen in our business to catapult us to massive success in Arbonne, but it couldn't be further from the truth. The secret to success is in our daily disciplines. It's just about mastering the mundane, and we do. Tom Barrett talks about that we have to be a person that can work by ourselves, and just be able to get little things done each day by ourselves. So doing the things that are easy to do and so easy not to do that they become overlooked, right? So this is what this call is we're gonna kind of focus on is what to do each day, what to focus our brain around. So, and it is the kind of mundane things that actually equal massive success and results in our business. It's setting up appointments. It's asking people to take a look at the business. It's asking people to host, getting referrals, following up, presenting, sharing our story, asking questions to find the fit, being diligent, with our personal growth too, because we can't achieve something we've never had by remaining the person that we are, right? So, and isn't it true that, the becoming, who we are going to become is just as important as what we achieve, right? And so that's something massive too, being faithful to the process and finding joy in the journey. So this is something that I've been doing for a while, is tracking my DM bonus. And I want to show you a little bit of my journey, and just how there's so much that I can draw, correlations to. When I decided, obviously, to get into activity and actually do the system, right? Which, who knows our system? It's 40 faces, right? So that's our system. And then whichever reach out method we want to achieve that, but our system is 40 faces. And you think about it, there's really very few people who are actually talking to 40 people in a month. And, Catherine Lutz just did the One Thing call, and she actually said minimum 30 people a month is the tipping point where you're actually going to create momentum and get some traction in your business. Our system, for our nation and stuff is 40 faces, but even 30 people per month is going to set you in the top 2% of Arbonne. I mean, that kind of surprised me. Does that surprise you? But I understand, because I was a district manager for 8 years and I never followed the system. So I get it. I get how that's where people get stuck, is they're not talking to enough people. So we want to track everything that we want to change, and we want to track things that we want to grow. And as we're tracking and doing the right things, we want to be proud of ourselves, because this is what it takes. It just takes doing these things over and over, these daily disciplines, for enough time. So I want to share screen and just share, and this is just me being real vulnerable and real. This is just a real person's journey here. Nothing, supernatural or anything. It's just very, very real and honest. So one sec here while I share screen. So it's not a pretty chart here, but just so you know. So the first column is actually, can you guys see this okay? I can't hear you, but someone text me if you can't see it. But so this first column is actually 2012. So this is before I actually made a decision, to work my Arbonne business and to do the system. You can see in January, my volume was a whopping 610. That was actually the month my sister passed away, and I lost my district that month, and I actually considered quitting Arbonne right around then. And that's why I bring this up, because I know that, if you've been in Arbonne for a while, you've probably had those points where you just feel like, is this worth it? So this is just my honest, real story. So in 2012, I was really at a low point with Arbonne. I'd been a district manager for a long time. I just lost my district. And I really just came to a point where I was so restless, and it was like, I was so uncomfortable staying the same. I was more uncomfortable staying the same than just, plugging along in Arbonne. So I decided to plug along, and I got back into qual for district in February, and was launching someone in March, but she didn't end up finishing or deciding to do Arbonne. But anyway, it gave me a little boost. It got me to district to do some events. But you look at that, the second column there is my sponsoring, which again, not a whole lot of sponsoring going on. In fact, you can see down at the bottom, I sponsored a total of 13 people in the entire year of 2012. So we're not moving and shaking here. It's pretty much a maintain. And my average monthly volume was 2388. So I was just under maintenance for district, just barely staying alive here as a district. Well, in 2013, it was actually March, I made my decision and booked my calendar for April to launch myself, and to really, I really decided to go out and make it happen and talk to people and get things on my calendar, even though I had 2 other jobs going. And I was, it was exhausting. I have to admit, it takes a little bit of finessing to, create a rhythm for Arbonne in your life. I had 10 things on my calendar and 5 held. And in the month of April, you can see I did 3,100 in volume, which for me, that was pretty good, And I remember talking to Kathy Ray in May, and she said, okay, Tammy, that's great, but, now you need to focus on doing your district manager bonus. And I was a little bit taken back, like, what? I just did so much. Are you kidding me? You know, like, didn't you see how much I did for April? And but I appreciate that now because she pushed me. Because here's the deal, what's uncomfortable early becomes comfortable later. What's comfortable early becomes uncomfortable later. So that was a huge turning point for me, to just kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and really, turn it up a notch. So you can see in May, I did my district manager bonus for the first time. And it was a big deal. I was so excited, and it gave me some momentum there. I ended up going into area qual in July. I didn't finish. A bunch of people that we were launching they didn't stick. But you can see my sponsoring was up for that year, 47 total, and my average monthly volume was 5,000. And I did district manager bonus 6 times in that year. And I then became an executive district manager. So you can see how there's a correlation to activity, to sponsoring, to your bonus, to everything, to promotions. It's all just this, consistent pace. So in 2014, you can see we did district manager bonus 12 out of 12 months. Hello, we ended up promoting to area manager. So again, another promotion. Our average monthly volume went up to almost 14,000, and we sponsored a total of 136 in that year. So our sponsoring went up too. And then in 2015, our district manager bonus was, again, 12 out of 12 months, didn't miss a month, and our average monthly volume went to 41,000. We promoted to RVP, sponsored almost 400 people in that year. I mean, it's just so exciting. So you can see how it just takes a little bit of consistency, and then you start to get that traction. And I want you to look back. It was, 12, 13, 14. It was 2014. I'll never forget it. It was January of 2014. And here I was. I had been doing district manager bonus month after month after month after month by myself. And I remember I had talked to this woman that I worked with. She was a coworker, and I brought her to Kathy Ray's home for a healthy happy hour. And it was January 30, so it was the end of the month. I needed one more sponsor for my district manager bonus, and I thought, okay, she's going to be the one. And I bring her to Kathy's for this presentation, and she walks in and sees, another consultant who she had grown up with, so yes, she was sponsored that night, but she ended up going with her friend, which totally makes sense to me. I'm not saying that wasn't the right thing to do. I'm just saying, for me personally, I was like a little bit deflated, like, man, I just feel like I'm grinding along here. When is it ever going to pick up? And so if you're feeling that way, I just want you to know, just hang in there, because it just does take some time. I actually did a vision board in March of 2014, and it was literally 9 days after I made this vision board of people. I actually had a picture of people jumping like off a cliff, into water, because I needed someone to jump into my business. And 9 days after I made that vision board, I sponsored someone who went district in 2 months. She brought in someone else who went district in 2 months. And it did. She was the spark that helped me promote to area manager. So it's so interesting. All of this is so interesting to me, because it's like you can't see the future, but looking back, I see how staying consistent and keeping your focus where it needs to be is so important. And I just want to point out too, in March of 2015, when we were in our 3rd month of region qual, we had 6 people do their district manager bonus. 6 people. Think about that. I mean, think about how that would really add up. If you were duplicating district manager bonus. And so anyway, it's so key. But I want to dial. Okay, so now I'm going to stop share for just a second. and come back so I can see all of you. So I just wanted to just show you some actual numbers and just the evolution of how, you know, staying consistent actually does pay off. So let's see here. So back to you know, Kathy Lutz's training, who she's just such a brilliant woman. I heard her say the 2,500 new plus you plus one new business consultant sponsored each month. I heard her talk about that in Green Bay a year ago, and I thought, oh yeah, I do that. And who have you guys done that? Have you felt that way? Like, oh yeah. Well, I actually started tracking it, and I was like, oh, oh, I guess I haven't done that consistently. And she blew my mind. She really blew my mind, because once I sat and actually did the numbers, I was like, wow, I have some work to do here. And so if you're a person who's been very, very consistent, and I see many of you on, you know, you're diligent, you do your district manager bonus month after month, you're sponsoring your inactivity, that's fantastic, but you feel like you're not getting traction, this is it. This is the key. So in my mind, I thought district manager bonus was everything. Now I'm going back a notch. We're going to get our district manager bonus if we focus on our 2,500 new plus you and one new business builder per month. So that's where I want to spend the rest of the time talking about this. Because I feel like if we get this, everything else, incentives, bonuses, we're going to earn everything that Arbonne puts out if we focus on 2,500 new plus you and one new business builder consultant. So many of us overestimate what we can accomplish in 6 months, and yet we underestimate what we can achieve over 6 years. So this is a long-term picture, and Kathy really, you know, Catherine Lutz really painted the long-term vision in her call. If you haven't heard that, Go for Gold. Oh my goodness, I've listened to it 4 or 5 times now, and it's just like I keep gleaning a little more depth every time. So this is a numbers game. And so these are the numbers that we need to be focused on. We need to tell the Arbonne story to at least 30 people each and every month. And again, our system is 40, but she's saying 30 is that tipping point. 30 is where we're going to start getting some traction and get momentum. This is really where we get hung up, because most people in Arbonne aren't even keeping track. You know, if you were to ask, you know, how many people, Erin, have you talked to this month? I mean, do you know that number? You know, and I wouldn't have been able to say. I would have just said, oh yeah, sure, maybe around 30. You know, I was just making it up. And so I'm just going to encourage all of us to really pay attention to this, because to me, I'm like really excited now, because I feel like this is the missing piece. This is where I see where I can take ownership of my business and really get traction and grow. You know, I'll put my blinders on and really, really dig into what I have control over, right? We can't control what other people decide to do, but we can control our own activity and what we have on our calendar. So, so yeah, so often tracking our number of how many people we've told the story to just gets overlooked. It's not paid attention to. And yet this is what we get paid on, right? We get paid to connect people with Arbonne in whatever way makes sense for them. We connect people to Arbonne by telling the Arbonne story. And our Arbonne story is 4 things. It's 4 components. And you guys know all of this. It's our why story, why we decided to be a part of Arbonne, you know, what intrigued us about Arbonne. It's the product difference, because, you know, of course we have to talk about the products because our business is product driven. And so we want to tell, you know, what makes these products so different in the marketplace. The third piece is our income opportunity and, you know, our amazing compensation plan. The fact that we have an asset income that can pay us for the rest of our lives and pay our children for the rest of their lives. I mean, this is insane. Doctors and lawyers cannot will their income, you guys. And we have something that we can will. I mean, it's just, this is like insane. So, so yeah, we need to get the word out about our amazing income opportunity. And then the fourth part of telling the story is the invitation. to be part of our organization. So how can they be part of Arbonne, you know, as a client, preferred client, or independent consultant? So all of these points need to be made before we can count this person as one of our 30 or 40 faces, okay? So so in other words, sample packs wouldn't count. But when we follow up on a sample pack and really sit down and talk to them about what they have a hold of here, then that would count. Does that make sense? So just handing a sample pack doesn't count. We'd have to have this conversation and cover all 4 points. So this has been tested. It's been proven. Our system has been proven. This is proven. I mean, it works every time people do this. You know, every time we talk to 30 or more people each month, it's going to drive all growth. It's going to drive sponsoring. It's going to drive scheduling. It's going to drive our sales. It's going to drive our team building. And that's the piece that I was missing for all those years. I was doing scheduling and sales, but not team building. So this is huge. If you've ever felt like you weren't getting traction, this is it. This is going to help you. So our weekly numbers, all right, so if we want to dial it down a little bit more, our weekly number needs to be around 8 to 10, right? 8 to 10 people each week. And so that's just a way to kind of keep us on task. So, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, shoot, what should I be doing? Well, that's it. You know, how many people have you talked to this week? And it's getting things on your calendar. And who can I reach out to? Who can I meet quick for coffee? Who can I call on the phone? Who can I Zoom with? Who can I go, you know, walk the dogs with? I've been doing that a lot, just walking and talking with people as we walk the dogs. So here's the deal. We can't beat ourselves up over this number or the lack of the number. The number doesn't define who we are. It's just a tracking point. You know, this doesn't define who we are. It doesn't define our potential. It just shows us where we need to grow and what we can have ownership over, right? So I actually get kind of excited because it's like, here's where I can work, you know, because it's like, so often, and I don't know if you felt that way, don't you feel sometimes that it's like, whew, I feel like I've done a lot, you know, like when is it going to start kicking in? Well, here, maybe we haven't done quite the right thing. So this is a way to, you know, just check ourselves. So it needs to be 30 to 40 new people each month. It can't be people that we've talked to before. All right. And Catherine Lutz recommends doing this 12 months in a row without a break. So I looked back at my numbers and I'm like, oh, I didn't do this 12 months in a row. I had a break here and there. So I think I'm on my 4th month now where I can actually count it. So now is when it's going to get fun. So I can't wait to do another 4 years here and track this number, because I think this is going to be really exciting. So we're going to be so much more efficient when we focus our time and our energy and our efforts on working smarter. Our activity goal needs to be telling the story to 30 to 40 people, and our results goal is the 2,500 new and 1 newly sponsored business builder consultant each month. So did you get that? Our activity needs to be 30 to 40 people. Out of that will come our 2,500 new plus you plus 1 new business builder. And this will help us, like I said, earn everything, you know, achieve everything that we've ever wanted to accomplish in Arbonne. So let me define you and new plus 1. The new is any QV that comes from any new consultant or new clients or PCs that I sponsor this month. Okay, so this does not include reorders. This is all just brand new volume from our new activity, our current activity. So if a new PC or IC places 2 orders in their sign-up month, that counts. That's still new, right? Or if you sponsor an independent consultant who then sponsors some more people, you can count all of that because that's all new, right? So we all want growth, and growth comes from new. It doesn't come from reorders. Reorders are the residual income, you know, which is glorious. It's a wonderful part of Arbonne, is having that residual income. But reorders are just going to help us maintain where we are. It's not going to add. Okay. So if you feel like you've been at the same place for a long time, this might be the training you needed to hear. I know I sure needed it. It really like put a light bulb and a little spark in me. So the U part is any QV that is from your own personal action of telling the Arbonne story that goes under your own ID. So this does not include reorders. So you're going to have to, you know, just be honest with yourself about that. Like, is the order that you're putting under your own ID, is that new volume? Is that, you know, is that going towards new business? And then the +1 personally sponsored consultant is a consultant who intends to build the business. It does not include someone who just wants a deeper discount. Okay, this is someone that you're going to work with. Maybe they don't launch this month. Maybe they don't launch for 6 months. But this is a person that you're going to keep in the loop and get ready to launch whenever they're ready. So if we're telling the Arbonne story to 30 to 40 people each and every month, we will have 2,500 new plus you plus 1 new business builder consultant or more. Isn't that exciting? So this is it. This is like the magic, the key, the secret, the everything. I'm so excited. So the compounding effect will kick in. Catherine Lutz said that she did this for 3 years, okay? 3 years without breaking it. And it led her from, you know, she was a $20,000 a month area manager at the time, which is fabulous, but she had been that for a while. She was sort of stuck in that place. So she went from a $20,000 area manager. She did this 2,500 new plus you and 1 new business builder consultant for 3 years consistently, and it took her to $500,000 in volume per month. Did that just get anyone's attention? Do you think that's worth it? Hello, I think this is worth everything. I'm just so like fired up and sweating over this. It's exciting to me. This is so exciting. It's like, woo, here's what we focus on. So it's really the small things, the daily disciplines that lead to massive results. Did you hear that? It's the small things. It's not the massive leaps that lead to massive results, as we so often think. So Kathy Lutz had 2 people, only 2, that took her up on this challenge to do their 2,500 new plus you and 1 new business builder each and every month for 12 months in a row consistently without breaking it. 2 people actually did it. And do you know what their results were? So the first person increased her volume by 100,000 within 9 months. The second person increased their volume by 100,000 in 14 months. Who's going to do this with me? I mean, this is insane. I'm so excited. It's just like, I was focused on district manager bonus, but you know what, you guys? We can hide behind our district manager bonus. We really can. If there's someone in our team that's you know, has a few people sponsored, then we're not really doing the work. You know what I mean? We're not bringing in new. Like, we can sort of hide behind that. Where this is, you're pretty raw. You're pretty like bare. Like, you can't hide behind these numbers. So this is where we're really going to grow, is when we can just be honest and assess where we are and really, you know, take ownership. So again, what we track grows, and the more months we do this, the more the compounding effect kicks in. So you think about it, if we have 2,500 new and a new business builder every month, we're still going to get all of those reorders, right? That's just going to be the icing on the cake. We're going to get business builders going, you know, and in the loop, who's on base, who's in qual, who's promoting. We're going to, you know, be making those circuits too. So it's gonna get really exciting. This is when momentum really kicks in. So I want to just share screen here, and I thought that a way that we could track. Let me minimize that. So a way that we could track our new volume. This is the 40 faces sheet. Okay. So our 40 faces sheet. So these are the people. This is my month, actually. I'm having a great month. I'm really excited. So these are the people that I've told the Arbonne story to. And the people that are sort of circled, these are new sponsors. And, we're looking at more orders too coming in, but these are new sponsors. I didn't personally sponsor all of them, but some of them are under new consultants as well. So anyway, my total so far on October 30 today is 3735, you guys. Wowzers. And I actually sponsored, I forgot to write that. I sponsored, I have three new business builder consultants from this month, and then a fourth one who's in qual. She's not new, but I have a fourth one in qual for district. So it's super exciting, but 3 people in queue right now that we're going to work on, getting them launched and stuff. So, oh my goodness, it's so exciting. So do you think does this look doable to track your volume, to just put the QV from their new orders underneath their name on their 40 face sheet? I'm going to stop sharing and we'll unmute for a second. Does this seem doable to you? I'm unmuting. So what do you think about all this? Is this something you could see yourself doing?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who said that? Wait, Ellen?
No,
Oh, Kendall. Okay, good. Isn't this exciting? I have goosebumps. I'm sweating. I'm all into it.
Yeah. It's so exciting.
Oh, this is stuff that we have control over, you guys, and we can just put our head down and feel good about it. We can't, don't beat yourself up over anything. Don't beat yourself up over people saying yes, no, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just do your 40 faces. Do it. And do your 2,500 new and you. And we're going to get there. We're doing this together, you guys. We're the next wave of right here on this call. So tell me your thoughts. What are did anyone have an aha?
Well, I thought, Tammy, that it was great to have your document with the smiley faces and how you have the names written down and then the volume, because that's very encouraging to track, so that you could look over your month and see that. So it encourages you to keep going. If you can, it's a very visual, and it can encourage you to follow up.
And I didn't even, you can see, what was I on? Oh, I'm only on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only on 35. So see, I still have 5 more to go.
Right.
Tomorrow. But you can see just by doing 35, I'm still at 3,700 new and you with 3 new business builder consultants. I mean, that's insane. This works is what I'm trying to say. It works.
Yep.
And I'm booking into November. Things are rolling. So I hope this is encouraging.
It is.
Good. I feel like sometimes we get a little lost. Like, what are we supposed to be focusing on? And this is it. This, I love how Kathy Lutz just kind of made it tunnel vision. Like there's all of these distractions out there, but this is what we need to just tunnel in on. Yeah, Melinda.
So Kathy Lutz spoke at Green Bay, and Amy and I were sitting in the area manager breakout, and we just kind of looked at each other, and it made it seem so simple just to think that I'm just responsible for 2,500. I'm not responsible for 10,000 or 20,000 or 40,000 myself, just the 2,500. And then to break it down even further is to really just track how many people you're talking to and let it go. And that my only job is to share the Arbonne story and a story, because I feel like I can spin out of control about how to do it, where I'm getting it, how many parties, and everything. And then half the month's over and I'm like, now I'm all done. But no. So this is mine. I didn't quite get to where I wanted to be. I'm at 19.
Woo, that's awesome.
But I didn't put the number. I didn't even think about writing the revenue underneath it. That's a great way to track it. So
Well, Kathy Lutz said to put it in her calendar, but I'm like, no, let's just put it all in one place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that we can, total it up.
Right.
So yeah, I just had Scott, my amazing husband, just scanned that for me because I'm like, hey, can we do this really quick? I want to show.
I guess the point is that our job is just to get out in front of a lot of different people every month. And so however you can do that, like I realized once my kids went away to college, I'm like, oh no. So this month I went back to all of the lacrosse coach at the high school. I went back to all of my daughter's girlfriends' mothers. That was my top row. That's where I started, along the top. And it really kind of opened my mind to all these other people. So every single person that you meet everywhere, like I am envious of all of you people with kids. They're in school and you have all these moms to talk to and all these teachers to talk to and all these other events to go to. That's prime time right there, people. So if you don't want to talk to them or you need help, I'll come along with you.
And granted, this is my sheet. You guys, I just moved. I just moved. So it's like I'm in a definite on purpose to meet people, to say yes to every invitation. And I'm still driving downstate 4 hours to make appointments to fill in the gaps, because I have a lot going downstate still. So, it is sort of like, what are we willing to do to make this happen? And how can we fit it into our life and be on purpose about it? Because this is remember how we said, being uncomfortable at first gives us comfort later. If we're comfortable now, it's going to be really uncomfortable later when you're seeing everyone around you promote and you're still there, so I'm just being really real here. Like, what can we exchange now? For me, when I was first making a decision in 2013, I said, okay, no TV until RVP. And I meant it. And it really served me. And so I have no idea what's going on TV, but you know what? Business is booming. So what are your exchanges? Only you can decide, but what are you willing to, put into this so that you can reap the benefits, of a $500,000 in volume per month in 3 years from now? Really? Wow. That's just insanity to me. So, woo, I'm excited. So what else? Any other epiphanies or comments? Or thank you, Melinda, for sharing. And I'm so excited that you're tracking, because this is the only way we're going to grow, is if we actually know what we're dealing with and if we're honest.
Well, and I want to say too, there's no shame.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I got to 19 and it's the 30th, but I just keep going. And it's not like I didn't do anything wrong or I didn't do anything right. I'm not the superstar. I'm not the bottom of the heap. It's just, it is what it is. And so just keep going. That's all.
And it's interesting because you're going to get your DM bonus. I know you will. You're really close. But isn't that interesting that you could get your DM bonus with 19 or 20 or whatever it's going to be? But that's not the system. Isn't that, see, this was my epiphany, because I thought DM bonus was, good enough, whereas that's really not the system. That, we got to get into our 30 at least. Yeah, I'm sorry, Melinda, I cut you off. What did you?
No. I agree. That's not the system. But I oftentimes will beat myself up, and I wonder if other people do too. And this is not a make wrong.
Oh, right.
I just want to make sure that we all understand that the system is a proven system and it's great, but you're perfect where you are, and just keep going. That's all.
Heavens, yes. Oh my goodness. When I first decided, I was not talking to 30 people and I was exhausted. It was all I could do. So yeah, start wherever you are. And this is where you work up to. At least we have our focus plan, our action plan, our results, focus, what to expect and look for and work up to, but absolutely, this isn't about, beating ourselves up at all. So I hope you are proud of what you're doing, by just doing the right thing, for long enough, the right thing for the right reason for long enough, you're going to get the results that you want. For me, I just feel like I was sort of not quite on the right track of what I was focused on. Now I feel like, wow, I get it. I know what to focus on, and I'm zeroed in and I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get to work, because it's like we're climbing the ladder, but it's leaning against the wrong building, right? I feel like that's where I've been. Does anyone else feel that way? So we can at least just be more efficient with our activity and then feel really good about doing the right thing. Yeah. Anyone else have any insights? Kendall, did you want to come?
Well, yes, thank you, Tammy. And Melinda, I think you are a superstar because you are tracking it and doing it. And that is really, honestly, that's half the battle, right? Sometimes we say we're going to do something and then we don't. But just the fact that you're focused to do it, you are a superstar. So I was going to ask you, Tammy, if you could post your little smiley face document. And I do agree. Sometimes I think we think that we start this business and we're supposed to, one, know what we're doing and start from zero and go, all the way to 60 miles an hour. And some people do that and some people don't. And when you don't, sometimes you feel like you failed, but you haven't, because you started and you're working towards it. So I think it's great, because if you are just starting, or even if you're not just starting the business, but you're just light bulb starting the business, you know what I mean, Tammy? Like sometimes you're like doing the business and you're coasting along, and then all of a sudden, no matter what level you are, a light bulb happens. Mm-hmm. And so this is such a great tracker to do to help you focus so that you can get up and running to the system.
Yeah.
And now is the time. Now is the time. I just earned Atlantis. It was a fabulous week. And I will tell you all, if you want to earn the trip, get busy, get doing, get going November so that December rolls and is amazing.
So exciting. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Oh my goodness. Does anyone else want to comment? Well, okay, so I just wanted to have us all commit together. Are you ready? So what should we do? Put our hand over our heart, or a hand up, or Scout's honor? How do we want to do it? Okay, we'll just put our hand up to each other. So you can just say it with me, So from this day forward, I'm going to be the leader that makes this happen.
I'm going to be the leader that makes this happen.
I am done with excuses.
I'm done with excuses.
I'm done waiting for everything to be perfect.
Done waiting for everything to be perfect.
I've decided if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Up to me.
I've decided if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
I'm not depending on anyone else for my success.
Anyone else?
I'm not depending on anyone else for my success.
My dreams are worthy.
My dreams are worthy.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
And every step I take
in
the direction of my dreams
is
worth it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so grateful to be surrounded by people who are making a difference every day, and we're all striving to just, grow into the person that we were always meant to be. So I just love you and appreciate every one of you. And I can't wait to hear what's going to happen when we track this for 12 months in a row. Woo! Are you with me? Do you want to track with me? All right. Whatever we track will grow. So let's do this. All right. Well, love you guys. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Mwah! Love you.